One of the things, Melanie, that really hits me about all of this, it's like, how you're doing something and you have a certain level of expertise, you think but when it's your thing, you're like your worst stumbling block.
You are listening to Amplify Your Success Podcast, episode 470. And today I'm doing an on air coaching session you get to eavesdrop on, and it's all about unlocking profit and reach with your podcast. You ready for this? Let's get started. Welcome to the Amplify Your Success Podcast. Get ready to ramp up your revenue, amplify your impact, and make your mark in the world. This is the show for experts, thought leaders, and service professionals who want to shatter their limits and achieve that next level. You're going to find out from other experts and influencers how they made it. Now, let's get amplified. Hey there, inspired entrepreneurs and business leaders. It is your host, Melanie Benson. And today we are deep diving into another on-air coaching session. Our featured guest today was a winner from the Activate Collaboration Currency Challenge that I did. And wow, she has such an amazing show. She has such an amazing mission on this planet. And I'm very excited about helping her discover a few key ways to grow the reach of her show and monetize it more effectively. So tune in, take notes. You may learn a few things that really are going to help you with your podcast. Now, two things to note before we deep dive into this. One, what I'm talking about with our on-air coaching hot seat is all about the monetization that comes from your visibility and your authority platform. And this is a piece that so many people skip because they're passionate about the message. They get excited about having a podcast. And then they're like, oh my gosh, this is a lot of money. This is a lot of time. Is this sounding familiar at all? And they don't really have their profit path mapped out yet. And it's one of the key elements in not just becoming the unignorable expert, but the expert that has a podcast that drives revenue, clients, more visibility, and it's making the impact that they're dreaming of. Now, I have mapped this out, all 7 of the key steps in my 7-step framework to becoming unignorable. If you head to melaniebenson.com/framework, it's absolutely free. It's my gift to you. And secondly, before I deep dive into this hot seat that you're going to get so much value from, the Activate Collaboration Currency method is now available for you on demand. I highly recommend you go check it out. And what you're going to discover inside these 5 key steps is how to collaborate so that you are aligning with strategic partners that open doors, that align you with ideal clients, more visibility, and can help you accelerate your results. So if you head to melaniebenson.com/collaborate, you'll see how to access the on-demand training. And I highly recommend you add this to your strategy for 2026 and beyond. Now, let's get into today's coaching. Well, I want to welcome Angela Ross to the on-air coaching for visibility monetization today. And I'm thrilled to have her join us. As a personal note, I have heard of Angela for a couple of years now, and then she joined me in my Collaboration Currency Challenge recently and then won this on-air coaching. And Angela, I could not be more thrilled to have you join us. So welcome. Thank you for being here. Would you just kick us off with a sentence or two about your business and the work you do in the world?
Well, Melanie, thank you very much for having me. I am so excited about this. It's good to be with you and chat with you. Just delighted to be here. I am Angela Ross. I am the creator and host of SoCal Voices. It's an award-winning podcast sharing authentic stories and local wisdom to help Southern Californians thrive. There's lots to love about Southern California, but beyond our gorgeous coastline and our great weather and our proximity to the glitz of Hollywood, there is another reality. And that reality consists of, high cost of living, soul crushing commute, hustle culture pressure, and the struggle to find belonging in the sprawl. And SoCal Voices is your companion through it all. So what we do on my show is we try to help people navigate the region's challenges and thrive in this wonderful place we call home.
Oh my gosh, I love it. You had me at Thrive, but hey, I love it all. And being a fellow Southern California member with you, I am thrilled to showcase you, but also take you on a little journey today to solve a challenge and help you achieve more of the goals that you're wanting to reach. And I also have to mention, have you guys caught how extraordinary and exquisite her voice is? She's got radio voice. It's
I
what
do have a
everybody
radio
wants, radio
background.
voice.
I do have a radio background and figured that out, the voice thing, probably late high school, early college, where folks were like, "Oh, girl, this is what you need to be doing."
Oh yeah.
So, but
I would
that's the blessing, and I appreciate that very much. Thank you.
I second that. Well, you've got an award-winning podcast, I might add. It's an extraordinary podcast, and friends, I'm going to make sure it's linked up in the show notes because you're absolutely going to want to check it out, whether you live in Southern California or not. It's a really, really nice podcast to listen to. But I want to just lean in a little bit more. You have a goal right now, and I would love if you could just share what your goal is and what feels like it's in the way of your goal that you want my support with today.
Well, I am on the monetization path. I think that's where I need the most support. I feel like I have a lot of the other aspects of doing the podcast. That foundation has been set, and I'm doing a pretty good job of that. But I am ready to move into the next level. And I think I need to be just fully transparent here. When I first started podcasting, it was a passion project. You know, that's what I was saying. Oh, I just feel so great doing this. I'm at this point. But I keep hearing from people that says, yeah, but you could be doing this or you could be doing that. And so I've been a little bit uncomfortable about that, but I'm getting more comfortable with it. And if I'm going to pursue that, I would love to have your guidance on some of the best ways to make that happen. So it's within the brand and the voice and feels comfortable for me and not overly salesy and cheesy. People need to get value from whatever it is I'm doing, and that's very important to me.
Yeah, I love that. I love your heart and your soul around your work and what you want to do with your podcast. And yeah, it's not a hobby, friends. This is actually a business model. And as much as we love what we do, we still have to be able to pay the bills and financially thrive, right? Like
That's
we're
right.
not here to do charity work unless it's a nonprofit, which we are not, either one of us.
Exactly. Exactly.
So what do you have in place right now for the monetization and what's working, what's not working?
Well, I have not had anything in place for a
Okay.
very long time, but it's starting in 26. I am going to launch a membership
Hmm.
so I can enhance my SoCal Voices community, SoCal Voices Insiders. You guys are getting the scoop right now.
Ooh.
And the next thing that I would like to do is beyond that is to build really basically a premium content digital library of really useful, valuable, insightful information and guides for people to help them navigate their living existence in Southern California. So that's the plan.
Okay. So there's a couple of things that I hear. Membership program.
Mhm.
Do you have a price point in mind with what the membership fee would be?
The membership fee will be very low, very entry level. I'm thinking probably not more than about $6 or $7 because I want it to be highly accessible. I want it to be fair in relation to what other entities in the region charge for,
Hmm.
similar membership types of things. And I want it to be just, enough to make people feel like they're supporting without breaking the bank. That's the start.
Okay.
Hmm.
And so basically, this is what we call micro continuity or micro community as a
Hmm.
term.
Okay.
And so here's some monetization paths that I can personally see. And I know you've already worked out a lot of what's in your membership. But have you explored having, since because you're focused on the local community of Southern California, you are uniquely positioned to do well with sponsors. Have you gone down that path at all?
Not consistently and not seriously, because
Okay.
I've heard that sponsorships can sometimes be challenging. They
Yep.
get into wanting to know things that are very old school and out of date in terms of metrics.
Hmm.
And I'm really trying to be more about alignment and purpose and, again, providing value to the folks who listen to my show.
If we were to eliminate that as an issue for you, would you have a dream list of potential partners that could
Oh,
be
heck yeah.
really powerful for the podcast and the membership community that you're building?
Oh, for sure. I'm sure I could come up with a few.
Okay. So you don't have them in place right now, but
Mm-mm.
like
Yeah.
you could quickly access a list of dream partners.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so I'm
We're
gonna
living in the land of dreams, Melanie. I can dream.
exactly.
Come on.
We are living the dream here, right?
Okay.
Uh, so here's one possibility because when we have micro continuity, we do make it accessible, but then we turn this into a numbers game, right? And we have to
Mm,
generate numbers of membership to really, fuel the funds and
true.
to really generate revenue.
True.
So one of the things I think that could be a good complement that we might want to explore is what would happen if you either had member partners that were strategic partners in the membership. So you're not just relying on the reach of your podcast, but you're also giving them some kind of a really great win-win-win visibility and meaningful reach inside the membership community. And what I want you to think about is this is like, we know that people focus on numbers as a metric, but it's
Mhm.
really not about numbers. It's about collaboration. It's about
Mm,
co-creating community. It's about partnering with something that you believe in because you share values. We just went through the collaboration currency challenge. That was a huge part of what an aligned partner is, right? Is
yeah.
um, who else shares my values of wanting to make sure Southern Californians are thriving despite a lot of the challenges that our local communities are experiencing right now. So that's
Mhm.
one angle that I think we should look at. And to not so I'm going to just lean into something for the sake of the entire Amplify community. This is not an Angela problem. This is a community awareness. We oftentimes talk ourselves into the belief or the story that what I do isn't valuable enough for somebody to spend money to sponsor, right? Like, so we take one comment or we take one piece of feedback or we have our own, limiting belief running. And then that becomes the narrative. Well, I want to upgrade the narrative to you are a partner that is worth partnering with and to get creative about how that looks. So, do they, as a partner or a sponsor partner, whatever you want to call them,
Mhm.
do they promote the podcast in the community for you? Do they
Ah.
sponsor an episode but get a membership? Can they host webinars or is there a portal where they can be featured? Right? Like what else?
Mm-hmm.
Now that you've got we're going to look at your Instagram in a minute, but you've got an Instagram following. Like if you were to go all in and focus on building the reach of your social media, could you sponsor your partners on your social media? Right? So I want you to think I'm building an ecosystem, not just a podcast, because you
Mm.
are SoCal Voices
Mhm.
and your voice reaches multiple channels. How's that landing for you?
Oh man, that's landing well. I love
Okay.
it. I love
Okay.
it.
So if we were to build that out, that I think is something that is worth looking at. What would those partnerships look like? So it's a win
Mhm.
for them, it's a win for you, and it's a win for the community.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
I
and
love
and
that.
you could even have a founding partner program to help you get off
Mm.
the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So think
Mm-hmm.
who is really specializing in SoCal from an insurance perspective or mortgage brokers or
Oh.
um, maybe like a local therapist, right? Anybody who's really here to help co-create thriving, financial advisors. If we have like a company that is very much about the grassroots of Southern California, like who is here to thrive
Mhm.
alongside SoCal? And you are going to help them achieve that goal, and they're going to help you achieve your goal.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. That's amazing. That's
Okay.
amazing. One of the things, Melanie, that really hits me about all of this, it's like, how you're doing something and you have a certain level of expertise, you think but when it's your thing, you're like your worst stumbling block. It's like, should I put the comma here or should I do, it's just
Yeah.
silly little really micro silly things. So to be able to step back out of that and hear you offer this is really good. It's really good.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And
Mhm,
this is why coaches
mhm.
have coaches. This is why service providers benefit from having somebody else who does something similar, but you're not attached to the outcome. Look
Yes.
into the blind spot and say, hey, here's a possibility,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm,
And again, that's just why this whole coaching thing works, in
mhm.
my opinion. I have my own coach, right? So, we do benefit from having the lens of
Mm,
somebody else's expertise. All
mhm.
right, so sponsors. I would recommend having 2 to 3 levels. Now, I'm putting you on the spot here, but like if we were to wave the magic wand and you could pick 3 financial levels that might feel a little stretchy, but you're like, I'm going to empower myself to become the version of me that can confidently ask for this money for a sponsorship. What would it be?
What would the levels be?
Yeah, like let's
I
just
mean,
throw something out there.
like labels, like silver, gold, bronze. Is that what you're talking
Sure.
about? Are
Yeah,
you
but
talking?
let's talk about some financial like levels. What
Oh, shoot.
could you ask for? I say we like I'm in this with you right now,
Well,
but
we could ask for, there could be a 5 grand and then a 10 grand and then 15 and then a
hmm
20 and
hmm
then a 25. I mean, we could go on and on, but I mean, it
Yeah.
would be the range. That would be a range like
Okay.
that.
Good.
Mm.
So here's what I want you to do. Your first assignment is to
Uh-oh.
take those levels and I want you to map out what would your ideal partner need for it to be a win for them to
Mm.
experience, right?
Okay.
So think creative.
Okay.
Okay.
All
So
right.
it might be the number of episodes that they get a showcase. That might
Mm.
be, like maybe it's not just about what you can do inside the community, but you're a former journalist, you're a publicist. Could you write some kind of a PR release for them?
Yes.
Okay. These are the
I can
things I
do it for
want you.
them. I can't do it for myself.
Well, you can, but you're, like again, like we get that energetic
Yeah.
stuckness because we're looking through the lens of you rather than what can I do for someone else.
I hear you. I
Yep.
hear you. Okay.
So, and think how long do they get this sponsorship to match that? Now, what I would suggest, and this is just me, but you might think of making the first 5 or the first 10 partners get a really significant discount for kind of getting on board early.
Sure.
And what
Mm-hmm.
that does is that creates a little bit of energetic rush to be the people who get that opportunity, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And and again, like you don't want to be cheesy, but you could kind of play against I'm reaching out to you before I go to some of your competitors to see if you would like this opportunity first, right? So be in integrity, follow through if you're going to do that. But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes people are like, I don't want my competitors to get this, so I'm definitely going to jump in on this first.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I would do. Now, that's the sponsor side of it.
Okay.
Let's talk a little bit about how you grow your membership. How
Mm.
do you get the people in the membership? Do you have a roadmap yet of how to fill that through your podcast and your other presence and your different channels?
Not beyond simply announcing it regularly on social media. I have an
Hmm.
email list. I send out
Okay.
a newsletter. That those will be the paths right now.
Okay. Are you
Hmm.
active on LinkedIn yet?
I am. Hmm.
Okay. I would definitely start a LinkedIn newsletter.
Hmm.
That's especially if you've got more than 1,000 followers, that's a great way to show up in their inbox. And for some reason, LinkedIn has much better deliverability than we have in our own email list these days. But that's also a good channel. So when are you going to start announcing that the community is open?
Oh, I'll do that at the beginning of the year.
Okay, so
Hmm. Hmm.
all right.
January. Yeah.
So what you might do now is to start teasing about it.
Teasing. Okay. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, start seeding that it's coming, get people excited, get people interested, maybe have some early joining bonuses and exciting things that happen, maybe have a launch party just to kind of create some energy around it.
Mm.
But what I find is we need to be very clear in our communication about what is available to people. So, make your community your ad spot on your podcast for a while.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, how you feel about
Okay.
that?
I like that. I like
Okay.
that.
Wasn't
Yeah.
sure how that reaction was.
Yeah.
Some people are
Yeah.
like,
No,
ads on my own podcast. Oh my
I'm
gosh.
thinking, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so again, it doesn't have to be long. It can, and if you do you do any ads right now on your podcast?
I do like a tag about, sign up for the newsletter,
Okay.
check the show, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
And is that at the beginning, middle, or end?
It is at the end.
So I would do this in the first like 30 seconds or mid-roll. Like so
Okay.
maybe have like a mid-roll, hey, you're gonna start hearing from our partners. We don't even have to call them sponsors, but our
Mm-hmm.
partners.
Mm-hmm.
And today, SoCal Voices, what did you call it? Insiders?
Mm-hmm.
SoCal Insiders is
Mm-hmm.
our partner, and I want to welcome you guys to the community. Here's how to get it. Are you going to do a trial? Like, can they sign up for a trial before they pay? Like,
Ooh,
can
I
they
hadn't
get
thought
7 days free?
I had not thought about that.
It's something you can
Oh,
experiment with. Sometimes it works,
yeah.
sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
Or you can do like the $1, so they have to put their credit card in and then they get the first month for $1 and then they
Yeah.
roll over. What
Yeah.
it does is it kind of reduces the friction. You'll
Sure.
have more
Sure.
turnover, but it
Mm-hmm.
will get people because it's such a small fee. You can try different things, or maybe you do that just for the rollout. It's
Mm-hmm.
like like we do an Amazon bestseller campaign. You've seen those where it's like you get the first, if you buy it today, you get it for $1, right?
Right. Right.
So what you could do is like for the first 100 people or whatever you're shooting for, you'll get to have the first month for $1, and then it becomes whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
You can decide to check into that, see how that feels for you. Is it more important to get numbers quickly to satisfy partners? Or is it more important to get the revenue in and to build it with more of that foundation of people that want to be there and they're paying to be there? Okay. Sorry, I'm going to just go a little bit like channel some stuff coming through for a minute.
That's okay.
The second thing is I want you to have a press and a publicity plan. So I want you to do your own press release, my friend. And I want you to not just do it once, but do it several times. So you're going to do it for the launch, and
Yep.
then you're going to have a couple of special events with partners.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey, if you remember, you're going to get access to this thing that I'm doing with so and so, right? And like, go for some big candy, like some celebrity energy, some juicy stuff, something that's really going to get people's attention quickly. And like, do some press releases around that for the first 90 days to really create that surge.
Mm-hmm.
Um, let's talk about your social media. Which is your primary social media account that you're putting the most energy into right now?
Most energy is Instagram, and then I
Okay.
think the second most active is LinkedIn.
Okay.
But if we're going to focus, if we want to target, really want to
Mhm.
focus on IG.
Okay. So what we focus on expands, right?
It usually does, yeah.
Yes. Well, if we're not focused on it, it's definitely not
It
expanding. So,
definitely won't. That's
yeah,
right.
so let's know that you're going to really lean into Instagram first
Okay.
because I think Instagram is a smart one to do. You're doing a great job of getting your podcast. I love seeing your face in here, a little bit of personal. One little thing is be really cautious of the format you're posting on. You need to use the 4 by 5 image
Yeah,
sizes.
that's right.
Yep. So some of them are, but some of them aren't, and
Right.
it's just a little distracting for people when they
Mm-hmm.
come. But what I
Mm-hmm.
want you to do is I want you to write the bio that makes SoCal Voices and SoCal Insiders the place that people have to be in Southern California.
Mm.
So you want to juice up this bio so that it's like um you have Real Talk in the Land of Dreams, created and hosted by Angela Ross. That's nice, but what I want you to think of is like something like where Southern Californians go to thrive and something. Um, like what you said when you introduced yourself.
Yeah.
That was freaking compelling. I'm like,
Okay.
yeah, we love the sunshine and we hate the crazy high price of living here. We have horrible commutes. I don't even go into the city during the week. It's so bad,
Uh,
right?
I
And
believe
so
it.
bring that up and
Okay.
bring that in. And then I want you to start bringing on some content posts. What we love about SoCal,
Mm.
um, what we wish we could fix about SoCal, like things like that. So
Gotcha.
think, how can you speak to the energetic congruence of your listeners that need
Mm.
and want what's on this podcast?
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
infuse some of their pain, some of their desires, like, get some shots of like, hey, it's a beautiful sunny day on at the beach. Let's go enjoy what we pay so much money to have, right? So bring a little bit more of that in there. And then
Mm.
this is where you're going to feature your sponsors.
Okay.
And then I would do, I'm going to fuse one more little piece in here.
Hmm.
You have, like, this is about community.
Yes.
Your whole format is let's rise together as a community.
Mm-hmm.
Let's thrive together, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to showcase people who are regular listeners of the show
Mm.
and run a campaign to get people to listen to the show and leave you a review,
Wow.
and then showcase them on your socials.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, thank you so much for
Ooh.
the review, Janet, or whatever.
Yeah.
We love and appreciate our listeners, right? Or inspire them to share about the show. Like, let's get some juicy, like, build up the community feeling of being a listener on the show.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
So, have you done anything with that yet in terms of building a little bit of that community feeling and being
The
part of a culture called SoCal Voices?
No, this will be a little bit, but
Mhm.
this will be more of the emphasis going into 26. That's part
Okay.
of the plan. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I definitely think that will help.
Okay.
So how's this landing for you in
It's
terms of some
I'm
ways?
loving it. I'm loving
Okay.
it. It's all good. It's all good. And again, it's important because, you get so bogged down with the task, the day to day of,
Yeah.
okay, I got to book my guests. I got to do this. I got to do. And so this sort of broader thinking, it's you always can say that you don't have time to do that because you're so busy doing the tasky things. But this
Mm.
is very helpful. It's important. You have to step back in order to build the broader thing you're trying to build. This is good.
Yeah, and I feel like sometimes it's helpful to look at it from the 10,000-foot view of where do I want to end up? And then how do I pull through the chunks of focus that move me
Yeah.
towards that goal rather
Hmm.
than, like you said, we just get stuck on the treadmill of like, I got to do the next thing, the next thing. It's like, no, where do I really want to be? And is this moving
Yeah.
towards that?
Like it.
Um, how much guesting are you doing on other people's shows right now?
I need to do more. I
Okay.
need to do more. I've probably only done, maybe a couple in the last year. That I need to change that.
Well, that would be my last suggestion. If I could just
Hmm.
squeeze in one more little nugget for you as part of
Of
your own
course.
press release and publicity plan. Actually, two things.
Okay.
On your Instagram, while we're talking about it, I think it would be really awesome to have a carousel that you pin to the top that is like what's in the SoCal Insiders community and why should you
Okay.
be a member today?
Hmm.
So create something that's pinned at the top so if somebody comes there, they can quickly see, oh my gosh, this look at this community,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But guessing on other people's podcasts is a great way to build your own social media following, but also
Hmm.
get more listeners and then
Hmm.
attract people to the community.
Hmm.
So maybe think about how could you dial in a topic that somehow partners with what you're wanting to do with um, the SoCal Insiders and the podcast,
Hmm.
and then like find some other local podcasts and partner centric podcasts that you guys can kind of do some podcast swaps, which by the way
Hmm.
could be another incentive for your partners is they're going to
Hmm.
get an interview on your show.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. Ooh,
So,
that's
what's
good.
your actionable step from today?
Thinking through the sponsorship piece, I think what I'm going to be doing is maybe having more of a hybrid setup where it's a little bit of membership, a little bit of sponsorship, partnership slash collaboration. So I want to think through those levels, as you mentioned, and what that dollar amount is, and what's the get for the partner,
Mhm.
and for the community, for my listeners, and the win for me, so that everybody feels like they're getting a little something good. So
Yeah.
that's the most actionable, I think, thing that's going to be the most um, important for me to really flesh out. The other suggestions are really good, and they're things that I can implement fairly quickly, just by making some tweaks. Really good
Yes.
stuff. Yeah.
So maybe start teasing, on your
Yes.
podcast now about what's
Mm-hmm.
coming. If
Mm-hmm.
you listen to Amplify Your Success, you'll see I do that sometimes where I'm like, yes, I'm
Yeah.
excited about this thing that's coming. And, it's
Yeah.
like I try to like give people a little bit of a runway to know something's about to happen,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
even if it's
Mm-hmm.
not available yet. And
Mm-hmm.
so, what was the surprising aha or insight?
I think the surprising aha for me was you telling me that I just need to get over myself and go ahead and write my own press release. Uh, I just have not done that. I mean, I know me myself. I know me. Why do But yeah, that's something that I have to do. I always had this notion that that always has to be done by somebody else. I think there's an element of not wanting to talk about myself so much because my goal is to highlight and amplify others,
Mhm.
but I still need to talk about myself
Yeah,
and do it in a way that is, because I have to have credibility. I have to have some level of authority, and I can't do that if I'm just constantly avoiding that
well,
avoidance.
here's what I would love to kind of complete there with is when you get on an airplane, if you're traveling with a small child, they always say put your own life mask on first.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same with our authority and our visibilities. You got to take care of yourself first. You are the person that builds your own authority. It's not
Yeah.
given to you by anyone else. And
Mm-hmm.
so you already are a pro at this. It's just about allowing yourself to shine that light back on yourself and infuse your authority with the tools and the resources that you do for everyone else. So I'll leave that
Okay.
there. I know you know.
Yeah.
Um,
It's
and
good.
so I know there are going to be people here, whether they are in Southern California or in Australia or England or wherever they are, they're going to be like, oh, this is a brilliant idea. How do I find out more about what she's doing? How do I listen to the podcast? What would be a way for people to connect with you and learn more about what you're doing, Angela?
The best way to connect with me is to visit my website, SoCalVoices.com. You can listen to episodes and you can join my email list. And as a thank you for joining my email list, I am going to send you my 5-day mini audio series, 5 Ways to Live Well in SoCal without losing your mind. These are quick tips to help you manage your commute, stretch your budget, find belonging, and more. So that's where you can find me, SoCal Voices. And of course, I am on social media at SoCal Voices, Instagram, Facebook, and you can find me the podcast on LinkedIn. But I have a personal page on LinkedIn where I do most of my engagement and interaction. So you're more than welcome to join me there as well. I'd love that very much.
Well, thank you. We will make sure it's all linked up in the show notes, friends. And guys, her podcast is really awesome. As a fellow podcaster, I gotta say, I got podcast voice envy listening to Angela. So go check it out. Give her podcast some love. I'm hoping she's going to start celebrating the rave reviews she gets. So leave her a rave review on SoCal Voices. Angela,
Yes.
thank you so much for getting in the hot seat with me today and letting me give you some tools and some insights to up-level the impact you're making in the world, because you certainly are doing amazing things. And friends, if you got some value out of today's podcast episode, give it a little share. And let's give Angela some love. So thanks for being here, Angela.
Thank you for having me, Melanie. You're the best. Thanks so much.
Thanks for tuning in today, Amplifier. We're going to keep this conversation going, and I want to hear from you how you're going to amplify your authority and make a greater impact. Before you go, please take a minute to give our show and our guests some love over on your favorite podcasting platform. Subscribe, rate, and review. Leave your full name, and I'll spotlight you and your authority on social media.